Hey everyone, this is Jordan McConnell, founder of the Crohn's Veteran Podcast, and I want to give a special shout out to GHM Canada, who is the first official sponsor of our show. Global Health Management, or GHM Canada, provides savings of 30 to 80% on your prescription drug costs. They have created a website for American citizens who have Crohn's and other issues like diabetes, plaque psoriasis, and any other situation where the doctor gives you a prescription. Check out their website if you need to save money on your medication at freedomrxgroup.com. That is freedomrxgroup.com. And yes, I'm a customer, and I can tell you I am very happy with the service they provide. Hey everybody, this is Jordan McConnell with the Crohn's Veteran Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so honored and so happy to have Holly Fowler here with us today. Holly lives with ulcerative colitis. She's an entrepreneur of Kaleidoscope Nutrition, and so excited to have her here. Holly, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a little rainy and cozy here in LA. So yeah, it's a great Tuesday. Thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome. So first off, I would like to just talk to you a little bit about just your background. And so, who's Holly, and especially with colitis, and just tell me a little bit about your journey.
Sure. So I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2008, which now seems like ages ago. I was 19 years old. I was home for the summer in between my freshman and sophomore year of college. And I actually had a really sudden onset, which was kind of wild because you hear so many stories about people going years waiting for a diagnosis. And I literally woke up one day and had a stomach ache, and it never went away. It just happened like that. And a little background, I'd had stomach issues my entire life. Like I went to the Children's Hospital in the 3rd grade to go through like rounds and rounds of testing, and all they came up with was lactose intolerance, which is so laughable now. But that was 95. It was a different time.
Right.
And so I was hospitalized for a week, got a really quick diagnosis in 2008. And I was basically told that I could eat whatever I wanted to, as long as I took this medicine. And looking back on that, I really took that to heart as a 19-year-old college student. Great, I will live a college student's life. And I ate, drank, did whatever I wanted. And I continued to be hospitalized around the clock, every 6 months. It was almost to the dot. I couldn't stay out of the hospital. And all they did was kept increasing my medication. And no one thought to ask me to do a food journal or ask me to talk about my stress at school or what's going on. And they just kept increasing my medication and switching medications. And so I really went probably, 6 or 7 years before it was like a light bulb moment where I was like, I'm so tired of this. I have a huge stack of medical bills. I am constantly brain fogged from all of this medication that they're putting me on. There's got to be something else. And so I just went through this long journey of looking at all the possibilities, looking in all the scary forums online. Right. What are people doing? What's working for them? And I tried nutrition and realized what if I just ate differently? What would happen? And the hospitalization slowed down, and I, was able to catch up on my medical bills. I felt generally healthier. I was able to do so much more than I was able to do. I just felt better. I knew that I had this ulcerative colitis. It wasn't going away, but I was able to actually live my life because I, put a focus on my lifestyle and my stress and my food. And so that's my journey. It was a very long journey to get to this place. I feel like nutrition is talked about a lot more now than it was in 2008. And I'm just happy to be a part of the conversation now. I want to provide that guidance to people that I never had for years and years. And so if I can prevent people from going through the dark period of, that, I don't know, that cyclical, like being sick, adding more meds, still feeling sick, adding more meds, then I want to be a part of that solution. So that's a little bit about my journey. And I can't believe it's been nearly 14 years now.
Wow. I know it's, even hearing your story, like I think, telling people, because I was diagnosed in 95. Mm-hmm. And so that was like, was it like 25, 27 years ago, something like that. And so the idea that, as I talk about my own, Crohn's disease, is like, oh my gosh, it's been that long already. So, yeah, so I'm curious. So, all these hospital stays, did you ever wind up having surgery or anything like that?
No, I was very lucky. Surgery was never on the table. I have, I can't think of the official term. I think it's like proctitis or something, but it's on the like lowest part of the colon. And so surgery was never brought up. Only recently I had a really long flare a couple of years ago. It lasted about 1.5 years, which was the longest I've ever experienced. And point where my doctor, who was fantastic, she said, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention that if you ever get tired of suffering, this is an option for you. And I told her that I don't even want to talk about it until there are no other medications and there's no other treatments and we've exhausted through all of them. So that's kind of been my play with surgery so far.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I definitely don't wish that on anybody, so I'm really happy that you've been able to avoid that. I've had a couple of surgeries, and I think I've had like something about 2 feet of my colon removed, and
wow.
And I've had my appendix removed, and then the ileum removed also, which makes life fun. And so I'm on Prevolite every day, powder and stuff. So I'm curious, like. So what was your your transition? So tell me about the transition into entrepreneurship, living with a chronic illness.
Yeah, a few years ago, I really, nutrition, as I mentioned, has become a really focal point in my life and my treatment plan. And it has been for a while now. So it kind of evolved. It started with writing a blog because I was so many questions. I just wanted one central location for all the answers. So I created a blog, and then that transitioned into me getting certified as a health coach and personal trainer. And for a couple of years, I was more on the personal trainer side of things. And just in the last 2 years, it was in the middle actually of that really awful flare. It happened to also coincide with 2020. And so at home, working a full-time job, I worked in corporate marketing, and I just felt like it was the perfect opportunity. I was so sick, and I was really tired of focusing on my own situation.
Right.
And I just really wanted to put my attention on helping others. And I'd been trying to do it off and on for a while. And 2020, like many, it just was kind of this perfect transition into realizing what it is that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And corporate marketing wasn't it. So I took my blog, I took my certifications, and just really built this business to help people with Crohn's and colitis like myself, like you, who just need a little guidance in putting more attention on their nutrition and lifestyle.
Cool. And so what are some of the so people, for the people out there that, don't live with, chronic illnesses, what are some challenges with entrepreneurship, that folks with IBD commonly face?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the number one is fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Many entrepreneurs with chronic illness can relate. I mean, any entrepreneur can relate, whether you have a chronic illness or not. You are working for yourself. You are marketing, sales, operations, CEO. You're all of those things all at once. And so it's a tiring journey. It's well worth it, but it is tiring in a healthy body. And then you add a chronic illness on top of that.
Right.
And the fatigue can really be overwhelming. And so I learned early on, thankfully, I was in a really good place with my mindset around my illness, but realized early on that my entrepreneur journey is going to look different than other entrepreneurs, and that's okay. We all go at our own pace. And so because I'm like an all or nothing person and I want to go like 1,000%, but then right. I have to go lay in bed for a week. That's not going to serve anybody. So I just had to kind of find my own pace, find my own rhythm as an entrepreneur and business owner, and recognize that it's okay if I can't get everything done in a day. And then, when symptoms arise, which they always do, just providing myself a lot of grace and a lot of flexibility and being able to shift around my schedule if I need to, or, shift around priorities for the week. So just having a lot of flexibility and a lot of grace, and forgiving myself for not getting getting done what I thought that I could get done in a day or a week.
Definitely can relate to that. So big time. And so so how do you so what are some ways that you kind of keep yourself motivated, when things aren't going your way?
Really good question. So a lot of it is my physical ability when things aren't going my way. And what I have to keeping myself motivated. Every morning I have a morning routine where I will sit down, I have a journal. I'll make a cup of tea. Unfortunately, can't drink coffee. I'll drink a cup of tea and just kind of write out my thoughts. And I always write out a gratitude list, like I'm grateful for, and then list out everything I'm grateful for, just to really put me in the right headspace and remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing and who I'm helping, and how it's affecting my clients. And the fact that I'm not just doing this to climb a corporate ladder. Like if I wanted that, I would have my 9-to-5 job, but my motivation comes from knowing this experience deeply and knowing that I can make a positive impact on lots of other people. And so that really keeps me going, even on the days when I don't feel like going. I don't feel like bed, or I don't feel like doing as much. And again, that comes with the flexibility of just reminding myself that it is all for a reason, and I have a purpose on this earth, and the business is part of that. And if I can only do one thing that day that pushes me a little bit forward, that will get me in front of the right people, then that's okay. So that's kind of where my motivation lies.
Awesome. I keep muting because but people are going to know probably when they hear that my son's in the background having a great time.
Oh, that's okay. It's like 2022. It's been
Yeah.
2 years this now. We're all used to it.
Exactly. It may adds like a layer of like authenticity to the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
um, well, cool. So, yeah. So, on your entrepreneurial journey, because entrepreneurship is a passion of mine. I'm still a corporate America guy, but this entrepreneurship, it runs in my blood, my family, and stuff. And so, what are some I guess success stories, some wins that you've had that you're proud of, in a perfect world, what would you like to see, your business, be?
Yes. So just one success story most recently that comes to mind is a client who has a very stressful job and has a like pretty consistent symptoms. They're minor, but they're always kind of there, like bubbling at the surface. And just in 2 weeks of working together, his symptoms are completely gone, which
Wow.
we're both sitting there like, oh my gosh, we both are just so that was really, really cool to gift him that quality of life back where he doesn't have to worry about those like just almost like annoying symptoms that they're not a full-blown flare-up, but just like they're just always kind of there.
Right.
And then another win was business-wise, launching a group program last year called Warriors Rising. And it was centered around community. So I provide all of the information that I would provide to a one-on-one client, but with the element of community, because IBD patients are feeling pretty isolated. That's kind of a general consensus feeling among everyone I've spoken to. It's just very isolating. And also it's just not something that you really want to share with someone who doesn't have what you have.
Right.
It's just not really dinner talk.
No.
Being able to openly share your experience and hear other people's experiences is pretty special. So I'm really proud of creating that group program and being able to facilitate community among IBD people.
Awesome. Cool beans. So you're not, giving back and doing all these, awesome things for the IBD community. What are some other, what are some other things, that you like doing in your spare time?
Sorry. So in my spare time, my husband works with golfers.
Cool.
He's works with golfers. And so this is fresh on the brain because we just got back from a golf tournament. So I personally don't play golf, but we go attend a lot of golf tournaments. And it's always really fun, something we can do together. But me personally, I love being in nature. We live in LA, so I love to go hiking and go to the beach for a day, like have a nice beach day and just be outside, on the lake or really whatever that looks like. I'm always down for being outside. So that I love doing that and spending time with my friends here. And like, as you know, again, IBD can kind of keep you housebound to some extent where you can't really leave that much. And so I feel like I have a huge appreciation for socializing when I'm able to. And so anytime someone asks me to go have a coffee or go have whatever, go to dinner, I always say yes. Yes, I would love to. Yes, we're going to the middle. Yes, hiking. Yes. So I'm the yes girl when I'm feeling great. Do all of the things.
Yeah, like life is short. Take advantage. There's so much fun stuff to do. Like, we moved to Las Vegas from Omaha, Nebraska last year, and so that was a pretty big change. We're there for several years and stuff, and so I kind of miss the nature of Omaha a little bit. And so out here in Vegas, people just think Vegas is all casinos and the Strip and all that stuff, but there's still a lot of things to do here. And so we went out to, it's called Red Rock Canyon out here in Vegas. And so anybody listening, watching, highly recommend. Fun stuff. There are tons of cool trails and things, and there's one trail you can actually go to the top, and you can see the entire Vegas Valley and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. I
Mhm.
went to Vegas for work for like 10 days a
Mhm.
few years ago. And I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do in Vegas for 10 days? Yeah, I went to Red Rock Canyon. It was gorgeous. It
Right?
okay, this was worth it. This
Mhm.
was amazing.
It's
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
I
Pretty
second
awesome. Excuse me?
I second that recommendation.
Oh, yep. Yeah, it's awesome. And also, yeah, that and Mount Charleston, like Lake Mead, there's all kind of cool stuff out here. Well, awesome, Holly. Before I let you go here, I'm curious, I want to help you get as many clients as you possibly can, take over the world, right? So how can people reach out to you? I saw your website, and also people out there, her website's awesome. It's really cool. Check it out. But yeah, so how can people find you? How can people contact you? How can people support you?
So I'm most active on Instagram. It's Halls Fowler, HOLLSFOWLER. You can also go to my website at kaleidoscopenutrition.com. And yes, so I am currently enrolling one-on-one clients, and I'm launching my group that I mentioned, Warriors Rising, in the spring for community and health coaching. So yes, if you're interested in either of those, please reach out to me. Also, just come say hi. I always like to chat with people with IBD.
Awesome. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for that. Thank you so much for being here. To the folks listening, if you like what you hear, please support our show. This is a labor of love, that I do. And trying to get an awesome guests like Holly to come on and all that kind of stuff. So please support us, like us, subscribe to us. You can reach out to me personally at jordan@crohnsveteran.com. You can check out our website at crohnsveteran.com, our merch store, which I'm not wearing it today, but we have a lot of cool stuff on there for colitis and Crohn's disease. And that's at crohnsveteranstore.com. We're on YouTube, all that stuff. And so, again, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here today, Holly, and wishing you well and continued success in all you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
All right, you too.